Amanda here from Create Your Future. Guys, I have Eileen joining me today.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Happy Saturday.
We have an amazing video on explaining thought transmission and taking action. I think these are two of the most, interesting thought transmission. I absolutely love it. And taking action, there's always that question of when should you take action and not take action. So we're definitely going to dive into this. Just before we do, guys, Eileen has a 50% off her coaching sale right now. She's absolutely knows her stuff. She is absolutely amazing. She's going to help you to create some great results in your life. I think coaching is a really great way to go. I've done coaching, a 2-year program, every week of Everyone Is You pushed out, and it completely changed my life, right? So having a coach is awesome because it's like learning how to swim. You can jump in the water and flutter around and figure it out yourself, or you can have somebody guiding you and helping you to change your story. So she's going to help you find your blocks, change your story, and help you to create a new story and action plan that you can take into the 3D, which is really going to speed things up. And guys, remember too, we also have a free course, How to Identify Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. It's going to help you build your mental diet. So it's definitely going to be helpful when used with coaching. And we also have a Facebook group where we have post all of our success stories. So link is in the description. And remember, Eileen, you post every Saturday, don't you?
Yes, every Saturday.
She has a new video every Saturday that I'm going to be joining her with. So yeah, let's dive into this. So I'm going to start with my success story, and then Eileen's going to share hers, because we're going to talk a little bit about hers, because she actually took action, whereas I did not. I was lazy. Super lazy. Anyways,
we'll get two perspectives.
Exactly. So with my success story, so guys, recently I went on vacation to Dublin to go visit my husband's side of the family. So it was kind of like our second honeymoon. So I booked, premium economy, because you know what, I'm all being cheap over here, right? So I booked premium economy, and then I realized that we're taking one flight from where we live to basically another part of Canada. And then we're getting on the flight in Toronto and taking it to Dublin. But I realized that the second half of the flight was going to be a red-eye flight. We were getting on the plane at 8:00 at night, and we were landing in Dublin at 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning or something like that. So it was a red-eye flight. We were flying like all night basically. And it was like, Andrew's like, well, we need to sleep. And he's like, in business class, you get lay down seats. So I was talking to another coach on the team, right? And we were like, she was like, well, you can just do an instant, a bid for an upgrade, right? So I was like, okay, no problem. I went on the Air Canada app, right? And I did a bid for an upgrade. Okay, so I did the bid, and and I bid quite generously too, because I'm like, so I didn't do it for the first length of the flight because it didn't matter if we were in business class or premium economy. It was during the day, right? So, but it was like the nighttime flight we wanted to lay down. So anyways, 24 hours before the flight, Andrew says, well, did you hear anything about the bid you did? And I said, no, I didn't. A second later, I get an email. Sorry, you didn't get the upgrade to business class. Oh, Andrew, we didn't get it. And Andrew's like, oh, that's okay. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. And it's like, so we kept talking a bit about it, like while we were packing up. And the next day we're like, you know what, they're going to tell us at the gate we get upgraded. I'm like, yeah, you know what, someone's going to cancel. We're going to get 2 side-by-side seats right in the front where I like them, and we're going to get it anyway, right? And we're kind of like bantering back and forth about this. So anyways, the next day we're on our way to the airport, and we're going a day before because our flight is early in the morning and we live quite far from the airport. So we're on the way to the airport, we're in the Uber, and I see Air Canada app says, oh, time to check in for your flight. So I was like, okay. So I was waiting till we got to the airport to do it because, we're in the Uber and we're hanging out, and I'm just like, okay. So we get to the airport, we settle into our hotel, and switching around our stuff for our bags for the flight out, so electronics and whatnot. Anyway, then I'm like, oh, I should do the check-in. So I start to do the check-in, and all of a sudden I see the upgrade button is lit up, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So I click it, and it says, there are 2 options: upgrade this flight, the first flight. And I was like, no. And then the second one was upgrade your second flight. And I did an instant upgrade for the second flight. And then it said, choose your seats. And I looked, there was only 2 seats available side by side, right in the front, the exact seats that I would pick. And it was like, perfect. So we ended up getting our business class upgrade. Actually, guys, I did do a video on it on Jerry's Adventures. You can see how tired I was. I was so excited in the moment. Like I recorded right after I got that upgrade. I was thrilled. I was like, that's it. Nothing's going to stop me now, right? So, so that's my story. I didn't lift a finger.
That's amazing. Yes.
I'm sorry to whoever's, my thoughts went out there, whoever had to cancel their flight at the last minute, because those seats were not available when they denied our our bid for the upgrade, obviously, or else they would have given them to us or somebody else, but they didn't. So somebody obviously had to cancel after that. And so my apologies, So yeah, that just shows that you don't need to take action a lot of the times, right? I mean, unless you want to consider me clicking on the upgrade button action, so.
Right. No, that's amazing. And then we're gonna compare like the whole thing. So I'm gonna tell you my story. I took action.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, I did a marathon I did the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington. And by the time I got to the finish line, they was gonna give us a medal, a cape, and a blanket, a fleece blanket for the 50th anniversary. I had seen that blanket. They were advertising it. It was like one of the perks because we were running the 50th anniversary marathon. So by the time I got there, they had ran out of the blankets. So I was a little disappointed. And we were asking, me and another girl that were running, we were asking about the blanket. And somebody said to her, yeah, I think people were taking two or something happened. I'm so sorry, but we ran out of blankets. Then another runner comes in, and the girl that was next to me, she was like really into blankets. She was about to cry because she didn't get her blanket. So the other runner said, oh my God, like, it's okay. He's like, I don't need the blanket. I'm going to give you the blanket. And I was like, oh, wow. And in my head, I thought maybe I'm going to get another runner to give me a blanket, because deep down, I knew I was going to get a blanket. I just knew. But I was happy for her because she really wanted a blanket. I was like, this is showing me that it's possible. That's how I also took it. It's possible that even though they run out, I could get a blanket. And I left it alone. I didn't get a blanket. And then let's fast forward to this weekend. It was a New York City Marathon. I was volunteering. And since people go there very early in the morning, everybody over layers, and people brings blankets and stuff that they want to donate. So I happened to be, by coincidence or not, at the spot where a man that had ran the marathon was covering himself because it was very cold at like 5 o'clock in the morning. He had the blanket. And I said, oh my God, that's the blanket that I wanted. So I went up to him. I said, oh my God, hi, how are you? Congratulations. You're doing 2 marathons in like less than 2 weeks. That's amazing. I was like, are you going to get rid of the blanket? He was like, yes, I'm going to get rid of it. He's like, I'm not big into blankets. It's cozy to be warm right now. I was like, oh my God, I didn't get a blanket. You know that a lot of people didn't get it. He's like, yeah, you want my blanket? I was like, yes. He was like, I'm going to run at 8. He was one of the first waves too. So he was like, I'll give it to you. He's like, wait. And he happened to be like positioned right where my work booth was, because I was doing volunteering. I was like, yeah. So he came and gave me the blanket. And it also helped me because it was really cold at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. So it had a 2-for-1 purpose. So I thought it was like pretty amazing because what are the odds? He was right there next to me. I didn't see the blanket like that often, like early in the morning that Sunday. So I thought it was amazing.
That is so awesome. Exactly. I love that story because it shows that, when you're taking action with the intention of, basically getting something. So like when I hear that story, I say immediately, I'm like, well, you have the belief and the story that a lot of the times runners will take the blanket or the item that they're just going to throw away because they're not going to carry it with them running. They're just using it as something to keep them warm right now. They're going to throw it like a towel and go, and they don't care about it. Right. So, and then with that belief,
they literally have donation bins. So I knew he was going to donate it.
There you go. Exactly. So taking the action with that. So that's different than taking action where we're trying to manipulate the situation, right? I think that's where the difference is. Like, it's okay to take action if your action and if your action's in line with what your belief is. So your belief was you knew he was going to donate it. So taking action to ask, of course, it was going to be a yes, a no-brainer, right?
And another thing that I like between the similarities between your story and mine is like we both knew what we wanted. I knew I wanted that blanket since it was advertised. You knew that when you realized that it was such a long flight, you wanted first class.
Yeah.
right? Business class, I think it's called now, right? Business class.
Yeah.
So you knew what you wanted. We were both didn't get it, right? So we could have been like dwelling in, oh my God, I'm not gonna get it. And of course it was disappointed at the second. I'm sorry, you're like, oh, we didn't get it. And I was like, oh, I didn't get my blanket. But you also have a belief that things work out for you, right? That you somehow, some way, the next morning you said, we're like, no, let's imagine that we're gonna be in the front. Let's focus on what we want. So you redirected everything to focus on what you want.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just knew that I didn't put it in a pedestal. I was like, I know I'm gonna get the blanket one way or the other. I just let it. What do people say? What is the word? Not let go, but yeah, what is
Well,
the
it's detached from it. You're not emotionally
detached from it? That's the word. Thank you, Amanda. I wasn't attached to
you
it.
know, yeah, it's like not being emotionally attached is like, it's a lifestyle. It's going, you know what? Everything's okay. Even if I don't get it, I'm going to be fine. Like it might even be better, you know? And I constantly do that and say that, you know, and me, I wake up every morning and I'm like, you know what, Amanda, everyone is you pushed out. Okay. Like your thoughts create. There's thought transmission going around all the time. You know, it's so funny. People believe in Wi-Fi, but yet some people still don't believe in thought transmission. Like you can't see Wi-Fi either, but it's there.
Exactly.
So your thoughts are shooting out to everything, okay? Nothing's ever coming in. Your thoughts are only pushing out to everyone and everything in your reality. And, you know, when you focus on something and you come at it with the confidence, you know, that you are the creator, that your thoughts create, that you can be, do, and have anything that you want, and all you need to do is think it. I mean, you can part the Red Sea, right? You can get people to cancel out of business class. You can get people to give you your blanket. In fact, it's even better. You actually manifested that guy picking that blanket.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, he probably had a whole pile of stuff he could have brought.
But he picked that one that morning, and he happened to find me. We found each other. We were right next to. What are the odds? It's such a big starting area where the corrals where people wait. It was just, what are the odds? He was literally waiting next to me. So there was no choice but me to see him. So that was like pretty amazing, just considering that some people that I actually wanted to see, some friends, intentionally, I didn't see them. There's so many people there that I didn't get a chance, but I saw the blanket. So I was like,
but you saw the blanket. I love it.
Yeah,
you know, it's you know, thought transmission isn't a technique. It's how this works, right? It's the mechanism behind this. You know, I remember years ago when I was like younger and I'd go to church, and I grew up Christian and even Catholic, right? And like when I learned a law of assumption, I was like, oh, the Holy Ghost, right? God's working behind the scenes. He's doing it, right? And so that's the same, like, that's how I picture, you know, get everyone as you pushed out, like your thoughts are vibrating out there. And so your reality is being projected through your eyes, your own projector from your subconscious mind. So whatever you're holding within your conscious mind, which you're programming into your subconscious mind, is being projected out into your reality. If you want your car to work forever and never have to be repaired, well, then you say that. You start creating that. I remember I broke a microwave and a fridge in this house. Both appliances were brand new. Totally broke them. Totally had to get them replaced. Like, so, you know, when my dryer was making noise and then it stopped. So I fixed that without actually fixing it. So, you know, everything is constantly overhearing in your reality, right? What you're putting towards it, the energy. Because, you know, if you say, look, at my car is going to last forever, it's going to last for 50 years and it's going to run smoothly, it's going to be a vintage collector's and I'm going to get, you know, 10 million for it, then that's what's going to happen, right?
Yes, and I also think another key, I know that I believe that I deserve the blanket. First of all, I earned the blanket, and I thought I'm good enough for that blanket, and I'm sure you also believe, of course, I'm good. I should be in first class. I'm, you know, you would like, okay, you could see yourself. You said I saw myself in first class, and I had already pictured when they advertised that blanket that blanket was going to be wrapped around me, and it was. I think that's also like, even I wasn't consciously doing, but sometimes you get something or you want something, you're like, wow, it must feel nice to be in first class. And you can imagine probably sleeping better. So I also imagine being cozy. So that's like, you know, like how they say, like feeling is a secret. I was like, I had already felt it without trying so hard. So I think that's also important that I saw it believable. It was something, of course, I had the blanket.
Well, this is true. This is true. Exactly. Taking it off the pedestal by saying that you're good enough to have it is totally true. And yes, actually, there was a moment where I thought, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna like stretch out. I'm gonna be laying down. I'm gonna be all cozy. And you know what? I actually got 3 hours of sleep. I don't know about anyone else on the plane because I snore rather loudly, but I did get sleep.
Yeah. But sometimes we don't realize that we do the same because it's automatic. Sometimes we picture certain things with the stuff that we don't want. We're like, but why didn't that happen? Because you maybe like not consciously, it slipped through and you were like, oh, you saw yourself like all tight,
Well,
you know, like.
exactly. So here's how mine could have went completely opposite. So let's go with that for a second. So what could have happened when Andrew asked me about it and I said we didn't get it. And then, you know, he was like, oh, and I said, okay, no, don't worry about it. We're still going to get it. Like, you know, and he knows better than, you know, so, but I could have easily been like, oh my goodness, you know, I'm so sorry. I know it's going to suck. And then been worrying, oh my God, Andrew's uncomfortable. He didn't get it. Now I'm going to be uncomfortable. And I could have like kept going down that road, but I was like, no, I'm not going to entertain that because it just feels terrible to even think about, you know? So it was like, no, you know, I'm good enough. I'm going to get it. You know, I deserve to lay down, you know? And then of course I've got the story where, you know, it's not that prestigious. Not a lot of people want to spend money to do that either. So someone's going to cancel for sure. They're going to cancel or they're not going to show up. So, you know, there could be, you know, many things. Because me, I usually I've never flown economy. So I actually don't know what that's like. The lowest I've flown.
Oh, that's even better.
Economy. So let me throw that out there.
Better.
I usually do fly business class, but then we started crunching numbers and started going, well, you know what, if we're just flying where we don't need to lay down, I mean, why pay the extra? Because we just really want the extra room, blah, blah, blah. And some flights now, okay, what happens is you pay for business and there's only premium economy on the plane anyway. So it all depends now on where we're going, how long we're flying, this and that. So we've got like a whole thing, right? But yeah, no, I've never flown below premium economy. I've always really been in business. And my first experience in premium economy was when I did pay for business and the plane didn't have business on it. So that's where we got smart thinking, okay, we need to check out where we're going, how we're getting there, like what planes. And I'm sure anyone that flies a lot could totally comment down below about this whole thing, right? So anyway, but yeah, no, I haven't been the one time I sat in economy is we were getting on the plane faster than everybody else. We were like one of the first people to board. And then I was like the edge of like the premium economy and then the economy. So we get on, because this was one of the flights that didn't have business. Anyway, I went quickly and ran back to the economy section and sat in one of the seats there for a second. And no, there was like a row of floor. I'm like, no, thank you. Back up to the front, right?
So you already have that experience. You use it for your favor. That's why we always tell people, like, if you had like a good experience with the SP, use that experience because you already have it. Like, go back to that. You have it in you. You already live, like it's in your subconscious. Like tap into it.
Yeah, and I always sit at the front of the plane too. It's just my thing. I need to sit at the front of the plane. I prefer the front of the plane, you know, and that's just another one of my things. So like there is a lot of like, you know, thoughts, factors, and beliefs that go into it, but, you know, and it's always being positive about it. You know what I mean? Right. You know, and going, well, I can have it if I want it. And you guys, you can have it if you want it. You really need to focus and train your thoughts and not, you know, go down that, you know, negative spiral of, you know, being upset.
Even if it seems like you're not going to get it, like, again, you said you could have gone down that road and I could have gone like complaining, oh my God, I didn't get I didn't. I was like, and people were asking me, like, aren't you sad? I was like, no, I'll get my blanket. Like, it's not a big deal. I was like, it's okay. It's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you that you didn't get the blanket after you. I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Even if you didn't get it that one time, you still would have got it some other way because your manifestation will chase you.
Yes, I agree. Like it literally a week later. And like one of my friends, she was like, she knows how I think. She was like, you got the blanket. And then I had to tell, I was like, yeah, it came to me. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even have to do anything. So it's pretty amazing that it reminds us like that, you know, we have to, like, you know, be careful as to where our thoughts are going, you know?
Well, this is it. And, you know, just a little add on to my other story. So again, for the flight home, premium economy, this was a straight through flight. So it was like 10.5 hours and me and oops, should have got a business flight. So again, put in an upgrade. This time got it. So again, did another upgrade. So yeah, no, my getting now the new thing I'm manifesting is a free upgrade.
Yes, yes,
You know?
yes, yes. That's amazing. Yes, yes, and that happens. That happens.
Exactly.
It's possible. And it's like, and like I said, I also use the fact that the other girl who didn't have a blanket, she got it. And I was like, if it could happen to her, it could happen to me. And it kind of happened the same way. I mean, not the, but a guy who didn't want the blanket gave it to her. If I'm thinking about it right now, and I asked for it. Yeah, I did. It's like, you're gonna throw it away. Instead of throwing it to you, give it to me. He was like, yeah, I'll give it to you. So the same thing. Actually, the two guys didn't want the blanket because maybe because it was like fluffy and not manly enough. But I just thought about it. I did get what I said. If she could get it, I could get it too. And I got it from a guy too.
That's
Just thought
awesome.
about it.
Exactly. That is so cool. So I don't know about anybody else, but guys, comment below if you want to see the blanket, because now I kind of
Oh,
actually
yeah.
blanket. So me and Eileen will be doing a video again.
Yes,
next.
and I have my blanket. Oh, I could imagine it. Yes, yes.
I gotta see the blanket now. I
I
really
took
gotta
it to wash because it would just happen. So it's in the dirt. I'll wash it because I just got it on Sunday. So it's what, it's getting washed. But yes,
Definitely
next
gotta
video
wash it.
we'll see the blanket. It's beautiful. You're gonna see why I wanted it. It's so fluffy.
I can't wait. Guys, comment below if you have any questions or video ideas that you would like to see. And if you would like any personalized help, definitely click the link and sign up for coaching with Eileen. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, see you soon.
Bye-bye.